how to deal with relationships, pursuing your calling, conflict, saying no, trying to meet people's needs. I'm going to talk about all of this right now because I've been praying about this season in my life, and the Holy Spirit keeps on telling me to talk about relationships, talk about people that are married, talk about people that are single, talk about fulfilling your purpose, and how to handle the conflict that we're all dealing with and the pressures. And I learned from a very, very young age that people will let you down. People are not your savior. People are not your source. People are not your identity. And people are not your love. You can love people. You can depend on people. You can appreciate people. You can have compassion for people. You can have people love you in return. But making it your identity, or making it be a part of your life that you cannot live without, is unbalanced. And I learned this from a very young age because I've always looked for things to fill me up, to fill the voids, to fill the places that I felt very empty, alone, the places that I felt very insecure in, the places that I couldn't love myself. So I look for things exterior and people exterior to validate me so that I can validate myself that I am a worthy person, I am a lovable person, I'm a person that's complete. And when you're looking for exterior things to complete you all the time, you're out of place, you're out of order. And I've learned that lesson. Now, in your relationships, you're going to have a lot of wants and desires and expectations to meet. The biggest lesson I've learned being in a relationship is trade your expectations for appreciation. If you can do that, you will have a life that is very, very calming and not such like a roller coaster of emotions up and down, because you are taking that person off of the expectations to be able to meet your needs or to meet your unforeseeable expectations all the time. So the relationship does not become performance-based driven, it becomes appreciation-based driven. And that is a dramatic shift in our thinking and in our relationships. It takes the pressure off having to perform in order to be in a relationship, which is not sustainable. Okay, we get into relationships and you want to impress that person. Okay, you try really hard, you start working out harder, you don't show your little quirks, you hold your tongue a little bit more. You're doing things to impress that person. That's the honeymoon stage. Now what happens is that stage wears off, and then you get the real person stage. Now when you start putting expectations on a person, that real person stage is not going to be able to meet those expectations, because this is the real person. Okay, this is the person who has wants and desires, and they're struggling, and they don't have it together, and they can't put up that show forever. And a lot of people get into turmoil in their relationships because they start seeing these sides, and they're like, well, what happened to this person that I first started dating? And you have to be really, really secure with yourself and love yourself first before you can go and try to love somebody else. If you're looking for people to love you, then therefore you can start loving yourself, you're out of order. You have to search your heart and search your soul and love yourself all the way through, and do not hide it. Okay, you can't look for exterior things to fill you up, because when that gets taken away, you are devastated. Okay, you are not a person that is broken. You might feel broken, you might think you are broken, but you are not broken. You don't need all these exterior pieces to pull towards you so that you can be whole. You are already a whole person. You are being created whole with gifts and skills and talents and abilities and dreams and desires. There's nothing that you are lacking. You're not a fractured person. Okay? this concept will radically free you from having to have somebody there as on a pedestal to keep you filled up, to keep you loving yourself, to keep you happy, to keep you at peace, and to make you feel secure. You don't need people to make you feel secure. You should find and root your identity in a secure place with your beliefs that are outside of exterior things. People don't even like themselves. How are they going to like you and keep you secure when people, they themselves feel insecure? So how are you putting that expectation for them to make you feel secure all the time when they themselves have to be out there and they feel insecure and they feel doubtful and they are struggling with beliefs and they're struggling with themselves and their fears and their doubts and their worries and anxiety and people and bosses and bills and all this stuff? How are you putting that expectation on those people? It is unfair. You have to develop yourself to be a stronger person that loves yourself all the way through, so that you cannot put expectations on people, because people will let you down. They will always let you down. And if you're waiting for people to love you, then you're going to start loving life. Why are you doing that? It is a place where you're putting yourself in a place where you are less than. Take time to search your heart and search your soul and pray about it, and then ask people to be a part of your life, not so that what you can get from them, but what you can contribute to their lives. People should come into your life to enhance you. They should not be coming into your life to fill voids, if that makes any sense. You're already a whole person. They should enhance you. Now, when you get into a relationship, people want to change people. They want them to change. They want them to do things differently. And they want them to conform to their ways. That is an insecure person that's asking people to change the traits about themselves that probably attracted to them in the first place. Okay, you like somebody who's free-spirited, who's adventurous, who is full of energy, full of joy, full of passion, and then now you get into the relationship with somebody and you're getting pissed off because they're never home, or they're always out there doing what you were attracted to them about and originally in the first place, and now you got a problem with that. Now you want them there. Now you want them to do these things and do all these things that you want to do. And you don't allow them to have that creativity and have that decision-making process that makes them feel like they can come alive, that makes them feel hopeful, that makes them feel strong, back to their inner child, where they have this joy that's bubbling out of them. It takes a very secure person to allow that person in a relationship to be the person that they were called and created to be, to allow them to live within their gifts, at what God has given them to do. It takes a very secure person in a relationship to allow that person to do that. Now, there's seasons where it's not going to always be the same. You're going to have to be able to rock and roll in different areas, and it's not going to always be easy. But if you are a secure person and you know that you don't need love to fill up your gaps, and you are not waiting, and you're not feeling less than because you don't have this marriage or you don't have this relationship with you all the time, then you're allowing that person to be the person that they're supposed to be, the gifts that God's given them. Okay, so when you get into a relationship and maybe you're in that situation where you're like, what do I do? This person's really stifling my growth. They're stifling my creativity. They're stifling what God's given me to do. My question, my thing to you is you should be praying about it earnestly, and ask the Lord, is this the relationship that I need to be in? And reveal to me the things that I need to see, and offer this relationship up to the Lord, because relationships in marriage were created and designed by God to honor the Lord. It wasn't created for you to get sex and have somebody there so you can feel secure and help you pay your bills and help you do the laundry and cook and raise the kids. It was to honor the Lord and to glorify Him, to present before the Lord a blameless, spotless person, a union. When you get married, you make your covenant and you make your promise before the Lord, before God. Okay, that's what the vows are. You make your promise before God before you make it to your spouse or whoever else is there, at your wedding. That's the meaning of marriage. That's the meaning of relationship. So when you get into your relationship and you have turmoil, offer it up to the Lord. And whatever the Lord is leading you, then you do it. Okay? Because not everybody is going to want you to go and pursue your gifts. People have different agendas. People want you to conform and be and fit in their boxes and their molds. And a true relationship and a person that loves you and cares about you will allow you to roam free and do what you were created to do. They wouldn't put limitations on you. They wouldn't hold you in a cage. Something that you love, you don't put in a cage. Okay? I don't care if it's a dog or a cat or an animal. If you love that thing, it's not in a cage. You don't stifle what you love. You set it free. You want to nurture that thing. You want to see them shine. And when you don't see people shining in relationships, right? There's a big problem there. There's a big problem there. When you see people shining in relationships, then you know that's an honor, that they are honoring that person and respecting the other person for them to do what they have been called to do. That's a great, solid relationship. All right, that's it. I wanted to speak about this. There's hard decisions to make when you're in a relationship. Obviously, financial decisions. Don't get into a relationship just because the person has money. I know so many women and guys that do this, and it is really horrible. Go make your own money. Okay? You don't need somebody to go take care of you. This is not a business transaction. All right? Yes, find a great partner. Yes, find somebody who is responsible and who has good core qualities. But if you're getting into relationships to have kids or be with somebody because they have money and you know that you can get some money out of them, man, I don't even know what to tell you. Don't even don't even find me. Don't even look to find me and be around me, because it ain't never gonna work out. You're not gonna like what I have to say if I know that you are one of those people. Let's just put it to you that way. And that's coming from experience, where I've dated women that were only in for that. And the puppet show, or the show of oh, I love you and I care about you, it wears off. And when it wears off, that ugly face comes out and you realize, wow, this person's been just milking me. It's happened to me plenty of times. I know tons and tons of guys that have done that, and who have been in that situation where women are milking them, and men milking women. It goes both ways. So I just want to bring these things to light, because it's a very difficult topic to talk about, and it brings a lot of emotional turmoil. But pray about it all the time, and follow what God's called you to do, and know that a person that's going to be for you is not going to limit you. They're going to cheer you on, and they're going to want you to take new ground. They're not going to want to hold you back. Okay, they're going to encourage you, and even if that means that you guys have to come apart, it takes a secure person, and it takes a confident person. It takes a person that knows that I don't need this love to complete me. I'm already loved. I'm already healthy, whole, and strong, and I have love of an endless supply that can fill the gaps that nothing and no one can ever fill. That's a hope in Jesus. I love you guys. Live free, live amazingly.